happening? What is popping? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great edition of Symone with the Sports. I'm Symone, bringing guys daily sports talk. So if you're new here, if you're old here and haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Stop what you're doing, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Also, make sure you check out the link down below. The link is to become a channel member of the Symone with the Sports YouTube channel. But y'all, let's go ahead and get into the video today. So this is basically a video from Facebook. Y'all know I'm on all these apps, not just YouTube. I actually have my biggest following on Facebook. I got 40,000 Facebook followers. So I actually did a question and answer on Facebook. So this video is going to be me answering my Facebook people's questions. Let's get into it. So D Brody, who is a top fan, shout out to you, D Brody, for being a top fan. He said, since Jair Alexander went to the Ravens, I think the Eagles should sign Asante Samuel Jr. because let's be real, do we as fans, do we trust Ringo out there? Plus, the cornerback position is thin, so I say bring in Asante Samuel Jr. ASAP. Okay, so this is something we've discussed a million times. I know I've discussed a million times the cornerback room, the secondary shoot as a whole, and I've said many times, I do think the more competition we can bring in, the better. I'm open to bringing in Asante Samuel Jr. I know he's had injury concerns. I know he's had tackling concerns. But we saw last season, we've had some players that couldn't tackle before Vic Fangio came in. Then Vic Fangio came in, and their tackling has gotten so much better. Plus, at this point, Asante Samuel Jr., he's going to be going for cheap, especially after seeing Jair Alexander only go for $6 million. So I do think I would bring in Asante Samuel for competition. I feel like the more competition in that room, the better. So I do agree. Kay said, how do we let Jair Alexander go to Baltimore for cheap? Kind of upset me. I know, right, bro? Joe Henderson said, discuss upcoming position battles and player placement. Jahad Campbell in the battle that's going to go down at the linebacker position. Also, Jake Elliott in the kicker position. Who's going to return kicks? Why don't the Eagles value a clear kick returner? They're treating that position kind of how they used to do linebacker. Woo, that was a lot. We might come back to that. Terrell Stark said, our biggest concern is safety, of course, but do you think we should trade for a vet or do you trust Ringo? If the team trusts Ringo, I trust Ringo. And right now, the signs are pointing to the team trusting Ringo. So I personally, like I just said, would want to bring in like an Asante Samuel Jr. For some competition. But if they don't bring nobody in, then it's clear indication that they trust Ringo, meaning we should. Have you heard anything about Kenyan Green's camp performance? I read an article that is making me hate the CJ-GJ trade even more. I actually haven't heard anything out of camp about Kenyan Green. We still got obviously training camp coming up where we'll see and hear more, but through like the mandatory mini camp, I didn't hear anything about him. But from what we've been seeing from CJ Gardner-Johnson, it's kind of like, was it just, you know, salary? Was it just money why the Eagles traded CJ-GJ? Ooh, I don't know. Reed Blankenship. What about Reed Blankenship? Just how underrated Howie has been at building a consistent team. Only slippage was the Chip Kelee years, but the bounce back led to a championship. And the bounce back about to lead to more championships. Like, because when you look at this team, like, we have a very good core locked up. Like, we have a very young core. We have a core that's in its prime, and we have a young core. So, like, Howie just goated. Like, we obviously just won that Super Bowl, but we are set up to win even more Super Bowls. We need to go ahead and sign Justin Simmons. Like, what are we waiting on? Shoot, I forgot all about Justin Simmons, but I do know Justin Simmons waited to the last minute last year to sign, so I feel like it's going to be the same situation. I don't know why he drags this out. Like, I don't know, like, why he's dragging this out. Why Jalen not getting his just due. Shout out to Brian Alexander for being a top fan. Jalen is not getting his just due because Jalen has that confidence, that aura that disturbs people. Like, when people are so confident, it can disturb some people. So, like, the fact that Jalen Hurts is so even-keeled, the fact that he doesn't get rattled, the fact that he is so loudly confident without being loud, you know what I'm saying? That upsets people. It upsets insecure people. So that's why I feel like Jalen is not going to ever really get his just due from, like, the national media. You know what I'm saying? Because they hate that. They hate that confidence. They hate that aura because they don't have that G. Why non-Eagles fans link us to every free agent? We're well past the super team era and majority of our talent is homegrown. I feel like every team links. I feel like every like team links people to free agents. Like we only see it from our point of view because we only follow the Eagles. But I feel like anytime there's a big name free agent, I always see all different fan bases saying we should sign him, we should sign him, we should sign him. It just seems like it's only us because it's from our point of view. You know what I mean? But I feel like every fan base does that. Will they stick with the current linebackers or do a trade / free agent? Will Trot step up? I hope Trot steps up. We saw some promise from Trot last season. I think they're going to stick with the current linebackers until training camp. I think it all really depends on Jahad Campbell's injury, like how quickly Jahad Campbell comes around, because they're saying he's supposed to practice in August, but is it late August, like when the season's about to start, or is it early August, meaning he can still get some work in training camp? What we do at the linebacker position is just all going to depend on Jahad Campbell's timetable, because if his timetable is delayed, then I do see us bringing in another linebacker with Trot, because Nakobe Dean, who knows with him. So yeah. Are we going to address the cornerback 2 position? Y'all keep asking this question. We obviously discussed that, but shout out to you, Carl Sampson. Henry Ruggs. I feel like if Henry Ruggs can work himself back into the league, then shout out to him for, working himself back into the league. I do feel like somebody like Henry Ruggs, you know what I mean? He deserves a second chance or deserves a second shot. So if he can work his way back into the league, then congratulations for him. But yeah, I made several videos on the cornerback 2 position. Hats off. Shout out to you, Hats off, one of my subscribers. A win-lose game-by-game breakdown with what you believe our record will be at the season's end. So I'm actually going to do a whole video on that closer to the season. So I am going to do like record predictions, like we said, like he's saying, like a game-by-game breakdown, what I think our record would be. I'm going to do that closer to the season. So that will come out in like August, okay? Are we going to repeat? Duh. What type of impact do you see Ty Robinson having on the team? I think Ty Robinson going to have an instant impact, y'all. I'm really excited about Ty. Like, Ty is one of the draftees that I'm honestly the most excited about. So, yeah, I think he's going to have an instant impact. Is the coaching stronger or weaker? I think the coaching probably stayed the same. Obviously Vic Fangio returning, but when it comes to Kevin Patullo, like Kevin Patullo has been in the system. He's been with Nick Sirianni since Sirianni was with the Colts. He's been with the Eagles for a while since Nick Sirianni has been here. So he knows what it takes to go to Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to win the Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to run this offense. And let's be clear, like, this offense is not complicated for Kevin Patullo to run. Like, when we have Saquon Barkley, it's still going to be run first. It needs to be run first. When they load that shit up, boom, AJ, boom, Devontae. Like, it's really not a complicated offense that you have to run. So I think our coaching is going to remain the same in a good way. What aspect of our offense do you see taking a leap, and what player do you see stepping up? I see big yardage plays in our passing game, and I think a healthy Dallas Goedert would be that player that takes that huge step. This kind of wraps into what I said with the last question. I feel like we still got to stay like that run first. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do have to take a load off Saquon Barkley, but I'm hoping like with the A.J. Dillon addition, we can still, have a heavy run first offense while giving Saquon Barkley a rest. So I really think that just depends on what we get out of A.J. Dillon, because I know A.J. Dillon has had some injury histories, but it just all depends on what we get out of A.J. Dillon. But that's what I'm really looking for when it comes to a difference in the offense. I don't think, like, what more can we get out of Dallas Goedert? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why do we keep losing to Tampa Bay, and how are we going to change that? Need more than being healthy, and I know our roster is much better than theirs, but somehow they have our number for the past few. Shout out to you, Ben Okun, a rising fan. Y'all, the whole Tampa Bay, they can see you in the corner. Y'all see why I'm distracted. So the whole Tampa Bay situation, y'all, let's not forget, like, okay, yeah, Tampa Bay has had our number, but that includes Tom Brady's Tampa Bay years. Like, come on now. That includes, like, when Jalen Hurts was his first year starting, halfway into the year becoming a starter. Like, so that was, like, very early on Jalen Hurts versus Tom Brady, coupled with the fact that we played Tampa Bay when we was super hurt last season. We played Tampa Bay during our collapse year in the playoffs when they offed us in the playoffs. Anybody would have offed us. Like, we sucked that year. Our defense sucked that year. Like, everything sucked. So Tampa Bay has had our number, but it's been a lot of reasons why. You know what I mean? And they're just a good team. Like, Todd Bowles is a great coach. They very talented team, very consistent team, and they just caught us at the wrong moments, honestly. Jordan Holland said, how bad Dallas sucks. It ain't even time for that right now. It ain't even time for that right now. Because honestly, at this point, they're not even worth the conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not even worth the conversation right now. Why is it that Coach Nick Sirianni is never up for the Coach of the Year award? Because, again, they want to discredit everything that we have going on. Like, at the same time, they want to say, you know, we got all the talent. It's not Nick Sirianni. It's the talent. Yada, 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 yada. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, they want to act like we wasn't going to win G. Like, every game, you know, they had us losing. But then when we win, oh, all that talent, all that talent. So which one is it? Pick one. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you are associated with the Philadelphia Eagles, it's going to be a lot of hate. For Jalen Hurts, for Coach Nick Sirianni, you know what I mean? We just a team that people love to hate, you know what I'm saying? But, yes, thank you all for submitting your questions. This is honestly like my first long-form video on here. So as y'all know, it's not just in my reels. I am a fast talker regardless. But if there's any topics that y'all want to discuss into further detail, we can discuss those. Like I said, most of these topics are already discussed several times in shorts. But yeah, it is what it is. But y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to me on YouTube. I will put that link in the, whatever it's called, the caption, comment section, whatever it is. Subscribe to me on YouTube for more long form videos, because I do make YouTubes, because a lot of y'all be like, you should make longer videos besides reels, and I do that. I just do that on YouTube and just post reels on Facebook. But y'all, anyway, thank y'all for submitting. Bye.